But I was practicing bullying with them the other day. We were practicing just making fun of each other.
But if you know, if you know someone is sensitive about a certain thing, why would you bug them about it?
Welcome to episode 15 of the Duncan-Deanna show, where we talk about homeschool, health, a little bit of business, fitness, anything else.
Whatever we feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever Duncan feels like.
Well, what? Because you don't say anything. Because as soon as I get going, you stop.
Yeah.
What do you want to talk about tonight?
I don't know. I haven't thought about it at all.
Oh, really?
Just waiting for you.
I think we should talk about the shooting in Tumbler Ridge.
I don't really have much to say about that. It's sad.
It is sad.
It's very sad.
Because I've been thinking about it a lot. Because I grew up right near there, and knew kids from Tumbler. Like, we ran in track and stuff with them, cross country. What I think is crazy about it, there's a few things I think is crazy. One thing, because everyone clearly thinks that I'm super right-wing, obviously. But what I see and what I always disgusts me with anybody, doesn't matter what way they lean, is as soon as something like that happens, like, everybody just starts sharing, especially on social media, stuff. And people were sharing a whole bunch of stuff that wasn't even true. Instantly. And I see all the right-wing side of it or whatever. But I see them sharing all this stuff. They were sharing, pictures of someone that's supposedly the shooter and all this stuff. And it's not even true. It wasn't even the person. And then people just, they were sharing pictures of someone that totally unrelated. Looks like that person probably is kind of messed up too. But just, sharing stuff and saying, oh, this is fact, when it's not fact. Then all these people shared it.
Yeah.
And then it's like, no, it actually wasn't correct, and there's a bunch of misinformation.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't look at anything online other than the news article.
I think that's just ridiculous.
That's the internet for you, though. But
that's everybody Facebook does that.
Though. That's Facebook.
They can't jump on this
anything you see on Facebook.
Social media.
Research it.
But people jump on this stuff to affirm their belief and their stance. And it's like, okay, this crazy thing happened. Terrible. Tragic. I can't even imagine being a parent that lost their kid in that. And yet, instantly, people jump on it to try and push their thought or political ideas or whatever, right or wrong, whether they're right or wrong about it. It's like, do you really need to jump on this the second it happens and try and actually twist it, in a sense, to make yourself right politically and feel good about yourself?
Yeah, let's just feel bad.
It's unbelievable.
It happened instead of try to make it something.
It's crazy. Anyway, I think that's disgusting behavior that people do. And why I even, I was thinking about it for quite a while. I was like, oh, we should talk about it on the podcast, but almost not wanting to because of that. Because people jump on stuff like that to try and get leverage or some clout or whatever. Yeah. And I think that's stupid.
That's why I said I didn't have anything to say about it, because I don't have anything to say about it.
Yeah.
Other than it is very sad, and it makes...
But I have more to say about it, because I've thought about it a lot.
Okay.
And it was true that it was a dude that was pretending to be a girl and was taking the drugs and transitioning and whatever. They were 18, I think, and they'd been doing that since they were 12 or something. Yeah, it was a high school. Oh. They hadn't even been going to school for the last few years or something. Oh. Anyway, bunch of stuff. I'm pretty sure what I've just said is true. Well, I know that they were, because at first it was supposedly a female that was doing it, but then it was actually a dude that was pretending to be a female doing the transitioning thing. And so the crazy thing to me, though, about it, and I saw a couple of videos and stuff off their social media, but is that I would almost bet, I for sure would bet on it, money on it, that the kids in that school are not surprised that that person did that. I don't think there's ever a time where someone comes and does something completely wild and crazy like that, shoots a school up or does whatever. I don't think there's ever a time where people are like, oh, I'm absolutely shocked it was that person. They were just such a sweet, nice person. No, they were messed up. And there were signs for a long time. I saw things that they they were known to have problems and whatever. Clearly they have problems. Like, it's pretty obvious if you're a dude and you think you're a girl, you have problems. But the thing is it could be stopped before that point. It doesn't have to get there to where they're killing a bunch of people.
Yeah, maybe.
Killed their mom, killed their siblings, went to the school, killed 6 or 8 kids at the school, injured 25.
I didn't know that they killed their
Yeah, before they
family.
went to shot up the school, they killed their family.
That's terrible.
So
there's something messed up, like, to kill your...
There's no way, unless you're completely ignorant, that you think your kid's okay. It's not like your kid, you're like, oh, my kid's amazing, there's nothing wrong with them, and then one morning they just wake up and shoot everybody. Like, there is no way that happens.
No.
And there's no way that other people that knew them were like, this person's okay, and they're not going to do something dumb. Like, they'd be like, oh man, I'm a little worried about this person.
Thinking that somebody would do that, that's like so extreme.
There was a kid in my high school that we thought might shoot up the school, and then he tried to kill himself.
Did anyone do anything about it though?
No, that's my point.
Yeah.
That we thought that, and if he had of, we would not have been surprised. Yeah. And then there was threat that he was going to, and they put us in lockdown. And that was when he tried to kill himself and messed it up and didn't.
Yeah, but what can you do though, unless they actually do something? Like, if you're like, oh, this guy seems suspicious or whatever, what can they do? What can anyone do?
Well, I'm sure you can test them and be like, this person's whacked.
Yeah.
Lock them up. If someone seems that whacked, why would you wait until they kill a bunch of people?
Like,
you want to see some videos off the dude's Facebook? No, that's the point. You're probably not allowed to, but you should be.
Yeah.
It'd be better off to lock them up and get rid of them and save all those other people than be like, oh, surprise, surprise, this person did this. And it's not a surprise at all. It's ultimately comes back to the parents. I think this person was 18, which is an adult, but still a kid, really. But they've been having these problems since they were a kid. And ultimately it comes back to the parents and how they're raising them and treating them. And clearly didn't work out good for the mom. But, like, that's why it's super important how you raise your kids and to take responsibility for your kids. And that's part of, I think that ties into even the taking responsibility to the level of, like, we're homeschooling the kids so that we're taking responsibility for how they're raised and what they're around. Because I saw another thing recently about some girl that committed suicide. She's like 12 for bullying. She'd been bullied.
She was a bully?
She was being bullied.
Oh.
And again, first thing that comes to mind is like the parents screwed up. Because if your kid thinks that's what they have to do, I don't know how they were being bullied, but if that's what they think, like probably everybody's been bullied at some point in their life to greater or lesser extents. And you're going to be bullied. That's just life. There's going to be people that are mean to you, that aren't nice to you, that call you things, say mean things, physically maybe even hurt you, abuse you. And if you're not prepared for that, as you grow up, then that's the only, like, I just can't imagine how that is the option.
Yeah, that is very extreme.
And I think it's being raised, I don't think bullying is the fault. Like, maybe bullying's not a good thing.
We have to teach your kids how to react to bullying, how to handle it.
Yeah.
And also make sure that your kids know that if before, like, little thing that they can talk to their parents. Mm-hmm. Because I think, like, a lot of kids feel like they have to hold it, or like don't want to tell anyone or whatever, keep it to themselves. Yeah, for sure, 100%. And then it becomes like, just like, okay, it's just me, I have to deal with it. Whereas when you have help from an adult, it's totally different. I know, like, there's lots of kids that don't feel like they can talk to and get help from their parents. Or if their parents make them feel like it's silly or whatever. Like, you kind of, some problems with kids, like, you have to take it seriously.
I think the parents have to bring it up first.
Yeah, sometimes.
I'm trying to think of that for myself. I don't remember ever, like, going to mom and dad with any sort of problem like that. I don't think I ever did. But they also talk to us a lot about what people are like and human nature and what to expect from people. Because I was bullied here and there, and I never told anybody about it.
Yeah, but that's like personality thing too. Like, if, like, some people are just more sensitive. I had a really, really hard time in middle school. But I knew I could go to my mom, so it was fine. Like, she helped me through it. She took me out some days, just like me and her and stuff. But if I didn't have her to talk to, it would have been a whole different, like, or know that I could tell her and her not think that I was, like, being silly or stupid or exaggerating or anything like that, then it would have been totally different. It probably would have, it would have been terrible for me.
These kids just get to bully each other.
Yeah.
But I was practicing bullying with them the other day. We were practicing just making fun of each other and laughing about it. And it was funny because we were doing it for fun. But I was like, people do this to you, and it's just funny. You just laugh. Who cares? It's just words. It's like, okay, you think that? You think that I look dumb? My nose is ugly. I'm ugly. You don't like my hair? Whatever. Like, we were just making up silly stuff, but, like, just being like, so I would take that, like, say Laska was over here and I would be with other girls. I'd be like, man, Laska just looks so silly right now, doesn't she? Look at that silly dress she's wearing or whatever. And we just, like, and then everybody laughed, but then Laska was laughing too, because we were
it's funny
practicing
at the time, like, but it's also serious. But
we were practicing, and I was telling them, people will do this to you for real. So we're just going to practice it. And you guys practice it, like, who cares? Not getting your feelings hurt. It doesn't matter. And
I tell them a lot, like, because they're always like if they do a drawing, like, oh, Laska doesn't like my drawing. I'm like,
who cares?
Do you like your drawing? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, okay, then that's all that matters. Laska doesn't like my shirt. Okay, do you like your shirt? Yeah. Okay.
Sweet.
Cool. Yeah. End of argument.
Yeah.
And parents. I need to work on that too.
Yeah.
Like, parenting myself too.
That's like a massive advantage I've had over the years, is like, anywhere I've been where people trash me, make fun of me, I'll just join in. And then it's no fun for them. It's only fun because I've been, like, pretty good at, I don't know, some people would call it bullying, but like, when I was working out in Saskatchewan and stuff, I would, like, be pretty hard on guys, like, making fun of them, making their life miserable. But the only way that it worked was if they reacted. And then it was funny because they'd react. But the guys that don't react, and I even told guys, I'm like, the only reason I'm doing this is because you react. And there were some guys that learned that, and then they they quit reacting, and then they quit getting made fun of because they didn't react.
Okay, but you still shouldn't be mean.
Well, there's other guys that would react like to the extreme. Like this one guy, Mike, I doubt he sees this, but he does follow me on Instagram. But he was short, right? And he'll probably get riled up just because I said that. But we would bug him about being short. I'm like, how in the world are you letting yourself get bugged about being short? You growing up short, like you didn't grow up, I guess, because you're short. But if you're short,
You're still making
but like, how do you let that bug you?
Okay,
We would be like, I would be like, Mike, it must be awful. So right, the ribs on the tin are this tall. I'd be like, Mike, it must just be so tough for you having to climb over each rib to get the next screw in. And that would get him so fired up. I'm like, how is that getting you fired up?
Okay, but if
Because you aren't climbing over the ribs. Like, you're clearly just walking like a normal human.
Okay, but if you know, like, if you know someone is sensitive about a certain thing, why would you bug them about it?
Because that's when they
so
react.
mean. No, but like, I would never, if I knew someone was sensitive about whatever, I wouldn't bug them about it. I'd bug them about something that I knew didn't matter.
Yeah, but that's not funny, because then they don't get all fired up.
Yeah, but okay,
So like
men
people,
and women are very different.
so like there was a
'cause
guy,
women are not out there trying to fire each other up.
there was another guy that would like, he was like, oh man, you tell Mike to run, tell him to hurry up, and he'll get super mad. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. This was when I first started. So then I just did it to this guy that told me that, because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna do it to him instead. And he got super fired up. He would get super mad because I'd be like, hurry up, man. Quit walking, quit sleeping, get a hustle on. And he would get annoyed at it. Like, he'd be up on the roof trying to get him to get something right. So it was pretty funny to me, because I think, and I've worked with a lot of people that they'll dish it out. They're usually like I always thought it was funny, but there's people that do it to actually be mean, like where they're mean, and those people can't take it back. So when you go back at them, they actually get nasty because they can't handle it. Whereas you can trash talk me all you want, and I think it's funny. I'll join right in with it. And as soon as you agree and you're just like, oh yeah, I do whatever, then they're just like, just deflates, because it's no fun for them. Yeah. So it deflates the people that do it for mean, and it deflates the people that do it just for fun, because it's not that fun. But like people like Nick and I'll bash back and forth at each other about just silly stuff. But it's all like we're doing it for fun, but like chirping each other. And sometimes you're just like, do they actually think that, And that's when you know it's working. But I think people need to be better at doing that.
Around much people that are women are different, I think.
Just don't chirp each other, call each other fat, back and forth, and
No.
It's funny. Anyway, started off on a more serious tone, but I think, back to that sort of thing where when they're kids, parents got to take more responsibility. Mm-hmm. You got to prepare your kid for what they're going to face, and really don't even expose your kid to it if you can help it. There's no need. Does a kid need to go, like, these kids don't have to go to school and get bullied every day.
They have us.
Sweet.
Just kidding.
A benefit. And then we practice it. So when they do face it in the real world, they're going to laugh at these people. And it's just going to run right off like water off a duck. It won't even matter.
Someone was like kind of not being super nice to them. This was like this past summer maybe. Yeah, like when we first moved here.
Yeah.
These kids. And they I was like, oh, why aren't you playing with so-and-so or whatever? And they said what they said. And I was like, to myself, I was like, oh wow, that's like kind of mean. But they were like, oh yeah, they just said they didn't want to play with us. And I'm like, oh, okay. That so-and-so is more fun or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, what they said, I was like, they probably said it and like, it sounded mean to me or whatever, but they're just like, oh yeah.
That's cool.
I was like, oh,
well, that's the other thing that people do
offended.
is take offense, which we've talked about that before. But like take the meaning different than it was said. So
Yeah, maybe.
and that's actually a huge thing with leadership and being a good leader, is to speak to people, communicate to them the way that they hear. Not think you said it a certain way, because the way you say
Like
it,
be very direct.
the way you talk to someone is different than the way they hear it. I could say something to you, and
I would be offended.
you hear, not necessarily, but you hear it different. Like you hear different than I do. Like I could tell you to go do this, this, and this, and you do that, that, and that instead, because you heard it different than I said it to you.
Because your communication
When you
wasn't clear.
Yeah, when you always,
Yeah.
when the way you always have that. Whenever someone communicates with you, they're saying it, thinking it a certain way. You can see it amplified in text, right? When you're texting, it amplifies, but it's the same with speaking. When you text someone and you're imagining it in this tone, there's no tone in text, and then they get it and they whatever
think
their
that
mood
you're
is.
mad. Yeah.
They
that's
imagine
true.
it. I have
That's
that
very
happen with
true.
work stuff all the time. They imagine it in a different tone, and they're just like, "What?
Yeah.
I'm not going to reply to that."
If someone doesn't text me with emojis, I instantly think that they're mad at me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
That's
Duncan's
funny.
always mad at me.
I don't
over
ever
text
use
and does
emojis.
not like me.
I use thumbs ups once in a while.
I told a friend that. I'm like, you don't text with emojis, so every time you text me, I think you're mad at me. And then she started for a bit. She would like use a bunch of emojis, but then she went back to her old ways. And
Got
then
mad
I
again.
kept thinking that she was mad at me.
That's funny.
I have to remind myself while I'm like, okay, she's not mad at me. She just didn't use an emoji. I don't know her tone or whatever. I'm like, they're not ever mad at me, but no one's ever mad at me.
But it's the same with speaking. Speaking can come across different too. It's less chances. It's going to usually come across more accurately, but people still hear how they hear. And depending on the mood they're in, depending on, what someone else just said to them, what happened to them, what their thoughts are,
Yeah.
they'll hear what you say and they'll take it a different way than you meant it to be said. And so being able to make sure that when you communicate, they're hearing what you want them to hear.
It's very hard. I think you need to work on that. Just kidding.
Yeah, I do. Like I went to that one leadership training, and I would go to it every month if I could, but I just can't right now. But I would go to it all the time.
Really?
I went there and I thought I was like, oh, I'm getting pretty good at leadership stuff, And I went there and I was like, I am terrible.
Well, I could have told you sucked at communication without you going there. Duncan needs to work on his communicating skills.
Why do you say that?
Well, just like you're saying, like you say something and you think that you're meaning something. No, you're very vague. That's the thing.
Vague?
You're very vague.
In what way?
Like you'll say something, but it's like, well, for example, I'm like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? Working.
Well, it is what I'm doing tomorrow. How's that poor communication? Working.
Or maybe that's poor conversation skills.
That's different than communication.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't really like conversations a lot of times. I'd rather listen.
Really?
Sometimes I like to talk, but it depends what it's about. Yeah. Some conversations just bore me.
Yeah.
And I just completely... Well, I just leave
Do I
usually.
bore you?
In a conversation I'm not enjoying. Or not even not enjoying. I would say the reason I don't enjoy some conversation, I'm just not in it. If it's just fluff, if there's nothing to be gained from it, I'm like, why are we talking about this?
Yeah. Like, what do you call it? Small talk.
Yeah, like talking about
The weather.
Your favorite sports team, what they scored in the game last night, any other insignificant crap. Like, just random stuff. Or if I'm like really not interested in it, maybe. But sometimes like stuff I'm not really interested in, I'll be interested in the story or the conversation about it because I'm like, oh, that's interesting stuff. even though I'm not, like, say a hobby, like say hunting. I'm not really into hunting. I could be, but I'm not. And I don't know if I'll ever be just because of time. But I'll listen to people talk about hunting and be interested if it's good conversation.
Yeah.
And I'm like listening to their stories about it.
I feel like I could have a conversation about literally anything, even though if I'm not interested in it, and be
What's the point?
having a friend.
I don't
Being a
get the
friend.
point of that. Like,
Being a friend. That's
I'm
the
not
point.
gonna be friend. Like, if someone doesn't want to talk about stuff that I enjoy talking about, why would I be friends with them?
Well, it's not like
What's
all
the point
time.
of being a
It's not like
friend?
every time you're hanging out with this friend that.
Like,
They
a
might
friend
talk to you
should.
with
What's a
someone.
friend even mean? Do you have your phone?
Yeah. You want me to look up the word friend?
Yeah, can I look it up? Because to me, what's a friend to you? What's the definition of a friend?
A friend is someone, that you share interests in with. I don't know. I don't know the definition of a friend, or I can't explain it.
To me,
but I
the
know
definition of a friend would be like you have something in common that you enjoy together. Whether you enjoy talking about it or you enjoy doing
we
it.
talked about that before. Guys, like, they have to be doing something to, like, hang out.
No, you can talk about stuff, but if people aren't talking about stuff I'm interested in, and they never do,
Oh yeah,
why
if
would
they
I be
never
friends?
do, then yeah.
And if they're talking about stuff I'm not interested in, I'll usually just leave and go find some other conversation anyway.
And I can
Like, I am
tell
never going to hang out in a like
that.
sports, for example, I could care less about.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit here. If there was 4 dudes sitting here and they're talking about any sport, doesn't matter what sport it is, like
The game.
like professional sports where teams play each other, I am going to lose interest so fast. I'll walk away because I'm just like, I don't need this in my brain. Doesn't interest me. What is the definition of friend, and what are the roots of the word? Where is it derived from? You always got to look at where it's derived from, because the new definition.
I'm seriously not that into as definitions as you are.
Well, it's important. You're speaking. It's another part of communicating, right? If you don't know the definition of words, how can you communicate? Friend comes from Old English friend, meaning one who loves, favors, or supports. It was originally tied to meaning to love. That's cool. Free, beloved, not enslaved. Originally, a friend wasn't just someone you liked. It was someone you were bound to by loyalty, someone who protected or favored you, almost closer to ally or kin.
Oh,
wow. At its root, friend literally means a loving one or one who chooses your good.
Interesting.
So to me, that is closer to my definition of a friend, and my definition's probably that, because it makes sense, because you know how we've talked about, like, I don't have a ton of friends.
No.
That I would call friend. I have people that are like I'm friendly with, but I'm not like, oh, that's a good friend. Like, I've moved a lot, and I've had friends in places I've lived, and then I've moved somewhere else and I've never talked to them again. Like, maybe once or twice, and then never talked to them again. And I've thought back in my life, and I'm like, that's kind of weird. Like, I just I'll hang out with these people a whole bunch, and I'll move somewhere else, and I'll just never even talk to them. Whereas I see people who, like, have the same friend all through their life. I've never had that.
Yeah. I don't think I have either. Other than, like, family, obviously.
Because it changes. Because that relates back to what we've talked about before of growing and changing.
Yeah.
And if they aren't growing and changing, and you are, they're not going to be interested in, you're not going to be friends as much. You're going to grow apart. Mm-hmm. But there's people that are growing and changing. It's very rare. Yeah, less than 5% of the population.
Reading in the book that I'm reading about friends, and you have different friends for different seasons of your life. And it's very normal as adults to not have, or to have different friends as you go along in life.
Yeah, interesting. Well, it was a good conversation.
Yeah. Am I your friend?
I don't like that sense. I mean, maybe in the sense of this. an ally.
I just wanted to
I would
cause
say
a
we're
little bit of
allies.
an argument because Duncan says that.
I
about
just
his friend.
absolutely hate. I've always hated when people are like, "Oh, I married my best friend," and I've always just thought that's so corny. Like I don't.
I'm
Yeah, I
not
don't know
your
what
best
it is
friend.
about that, but I just think that that's silly. You're my wife.
Which is more than a best friend.
Yeah, like to say you're my best friend just sounds stupid. It does. That's like, to me, that's on the equivalent of like saying that you're pretending you're your dog's mom or dad. Like that's the equivalent of how I relate it. Like when people are like talking about their dog and like saying, "Oh, come to mommy" or something. Like when they call their
I'm
wife
Millie's
their
mom.
best friend,
I don't care what you think, I'm Millie's mom.
I say that those are equally as stupid of a thing to say. That's my thought on it.
No,
But like with this
my job's
definition,
going
it
up.
makes it a little bit different, maybe.
Like, I
But-
think of it as like you're my husband, but you're still my best friend. But you think
Oh,
of it
that's
as
so
a different
that like
level.
just cringe.
Okay, I have no best friends then. I'm friendless.
Let's end on that note. Deanna needs a friend, but she doesn't need a husband.
I don't want a husband anymore. I just a best friend.
Thanks for watching.
Just need a best friend.
Stay tuned. We'll try and post even more often. I keep going away to all these shows and then I don't get the videos out as quick as I should, but maybe I can teach Deanna how to post them, but then she'd cut all the good parts out, so that's why I can't do
it would
that.
just be Duncan talking.
That's why I have to post them. So, hey, if you want to be on the show, you want to come visit, you think that maybe you could be friends with us, then hit us up.
If you want to be our friend, I need a friend.
Then, yeah, hit us up. Love to have you. Love to chat with you. See ya.